I got to go right into this shoe in the safe. This actually isn't about being on the plane, but it could really mess you up trying to get to the plane.
Yeah, it's actually a suggestion I picked up from British Airways, which, had noticed that from time to time, people show up at the airport and start searching around and say, oh my gosh, I don't have my passport with me. I left it in the hotel safe. And so their suggestion was put a shoe that you're planning on wearing home, put that in the safe with the passport. And then when you go to pack or go to get dressed, you'll realize that the shoe's in the safe and you can get the passport out too.
Unless you're so hungover or tired that you just walk out with one shoe, I think that actually would work. Now, what about just boarding passes in general? We're always getting these emails telling us to print them early, but there are a lot of very good reasons we might have not have thought of why we should do that. What are they?
It's actually something that I think is very important, and it's a simple tip. But I hear it over and over again from management consultants who fly, a million miles at the drop of a hat. You print the boarding pass early. You eliminate one stop at the airport, even if you're not checking a bag. You take a little bit of uncertainty about it, but more importantly, I think you claim your seat. And if you're an infrequent flyer flying on a cheap ticket and the plane is overbooked, you're in danger of getting bumped from that flight if the airline has to bump somebody and can't get enough volunteers. Since compensation is based on the price of your ticket, airlines typically look for the cheapest tickets. And so if you claim that seat early, it makes it harder for the gate agent to bump you from the flight.
Now, another stressful aspect is simply just claiming your bag. You say to pack uniquely. What do you mean by that, Scott?
Well, I think, we all roll around black bags and they all look the same. I think you have to customize your bag, put some ribbon on it or stickers or something. I use ribbon, cut it short so it doesn't get caught in the machinery of baggage handling. Put a business card or some kind of address inside. If your name tag gets cut off by the machinery, and the bag ends up lost somewhere, the airline's going to open it and look inside for clues as to whose it is. And it's also important, just never pack valuables. I hear over and over again from travelers who put jewelry in a bag or an iPad in a bag or something like that. Well, the bag gets x-rayed, and so everybody who handles it can one way or another see what's inside. And there have been lots of cases of theft from baggage. Just don't do it. And you have to remember that even if you're in a low boarding group, your bag may end up getting checked at the gate. It's important to remember to grab your valuables, grab your iPad, grab whatever medicine that you need out of the bag before you hand it to the flight attendant.
Good point. When you mentioned tying the ribbons on the suitcase, I think you've absolutely just justified the money I paid for my orange Toomey suitcase. You can never miss that one coming around the corner. All right, now you have an important TSA routine. Tell us your secret, Scott.
I think the most important thing at TSA is to have a routine. I think you have to do things the same way every time. So it's very easy to end up losing your driver's license, for example. If you put it in a pocket, you can't remember where you put it. You just do the same thing over and over again when you go through. With the driver's license, I instantly make sure I put it back in my wallet before I leave the little stand where the guy's checking your ID. You put your laptop, you put your liquids in the same pocket every time. You know exactly where to unzip them. I think it's good practice to put your big bags through the X-ray belt first. The laptop is the last thing that goes through. If you get delayed at the metal detector or the body scanner machine, it's the last to come out. You also have a place to put it when it comes out because your other bags are already out. You don't want to be standing there like the guy holding your shoes, your laptop, your everything else, and trying to
hold up the whole line
inch along in your bare feet to the seat.
No, very good point. Don't want that laptop coming through last because somebody else might take it, and you don't want your driver's license, your ID falling out of your back pocket. Very quickly, Scott, this whole upper floor, lower floor, you're obviously not referring to the plane. You're referring to the hotel. What's the deal there?
Yeah, the deal there is really one of personal choice. Travelers have said for years, request an upper floor because it's much more quiet. You don't hear the garbage trucks in the morning. You don't hear the ambulances, all that kind of stuff. There are lots of companies that insist on travelers staying in lower floors, no higher than the fourth floor, because the fire department ladders can get to you. if there is a fire. If you're on an upper floor, you're on your own. I think it's a matter of personal choice. What's more important to you? The risk of fire, obviously, quite low. I do think the most important thing is, no matter what floor you're on, spend a little time figuring out where the emergency exit is. If there is a fire and the corridor is filled with smoke and you have to crawl, which way would you go? You open the door, you have to know which way to go. You're not going to be able to see signs or anything.
Right.
Just know where you would go if there is a fire.